today we're going to learn about our plasma Asher here. This is by far the oldest tool that we have in the lab, but probably one of the easiest tools to use. There's really not much to it. When you come to the tool, it should be under vacuum or had been left under vacuum. You can always tell because the lid's closed, and the whole tool will be off. The first thing you want to do when you come to this tool is you need to turn the power on. You'll see we have a series of toggle switches here. Pretty straightforward. It says power, main power on. Not generator power, but the main power. You flick that switch up, very straightforward. Then you need to vent the tool so you can put your sample inside. It says vent right there, very straightforward. Flick the switch up. You'll know when the tool is vented because it'll actually, a space will pop up there and it'll lift up quite easily. Now we have a 4-inch wafer that's inside the tool right now. This 4-inch wafer is a pedestal for you to put your samples. If you're going to be using 4-inch wafers, you can remove that and put it in the little dummy wafer carrier that's right next to the tool. Once you've placed your sample inside, you close down the lid, turn off the vent button, and then you need to turn on the vacuum pump. Now that the vacuum pump's turned on, you can actually open the vacuum valve. You want to hold down on the lid and open up the valve. Now, a lot of tools, you really don't need to open the valves up all the way. With this particular tool, you do, because if you don't, it won't pump down properly. When you start flowing the gases, it'll be at the wrong pressure. Unfortunately, I don't know what this pressure reading is. I think it's reading in bar. I'm not sure. But when it gets down under, it'll be 0.0 whatever, then we can start flowing the gas. This is our helium oxygen tank right here. We close this when we're not using it. So you need to open this and you just have to crack it. You don't need to spin this valve open. Then we want to start the gas flow by turning that toggle switch that says gas 1, helium 20%, helium plus 20% oxygen. This number now should end up back around 0.35. That's where we want to be for gas flow with this tool. Also right here you have a wattage selection. Under no circumstances with this particular tool should you turn it above 200 watts. You'll blow up the transistors that are inside, and then I'll show you how to fix it once you do that, because I told you don't turn it over 200 watts. But you can turn it down. There's marks, 150 watts if you don't want to be as aggressive with ashing the sample out. So now this is good. It stopped 0.349, close enough to 0.350. And we're going to turn the plasma on. You'll see a little switch down here that says generator power on, and I'm going to turn it, and you'll notice that the plasma didn't spark. There's a reason for that. This needs cooling water or it'll start heating up and melting things down inside. So we also have a cooling water switch down here you need to turn on. Now we can turn the plasma generator on and the plasma sparks. You can do this auto or manual. If you do it auto, you have a timer here. I think it's just as easy to do it manual. You can either watch the clock or grab a mechanical hand timer and just time it, and when you're done, RF generator off, and you do everything backwards. The one thing you don't want to do is vent the tool with the water on, because you can get water condensate inside the tool and it'll take longer to pump down after. So you go in reverse order. RF generator off, gas flow off, shut the water off, close the vacuum valve, and then vent the tool. And again, 10-15 seconds later, this will pop. Now you can remove your sample from the tool, close it, never leave this vented when you're done. Close the vent, open the valve. You can just crack this at this point, and you just want to wait for those numbers to start moving a little bit. Now the numbers are going down, we're under vacuum. You can close this valve, shut the cylinder, you don't want to leave that open, and it's super important. If you look at the top of these valves, it actually tells you which way is open and which way is closed. It's right to tight, left to loose. But there's arrows, so you can't make that mistake. Close the valve, shut the vacuum pump off, and the main power, and you're all done. This also has a login book that's next to it with an SOP inside. Please make sure you sign into the login book when you're using the tool. And if you have any questions, you can ask me, read through the SOP, or just go back and review this video.